Welcome back to Newswatch 12 today. We're joined here on the couch by President Jim Head of the Northwoods Explorers of Space and Astronomy. Thanks for joining us now, Jim. Really appreciate you making the drive over this morning.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
It's quite an interesting thing to be having an astronomy organization up here in the Northwoods. But I mean, clear skies have got to help.
That's right. Yeah, Northwoods Explorers is a great group. We have many members, and we love bringing astronomy to the Northwoods. It's something that's been missing here for a long time.
Yeah, I know it's sometimes kind of challenging to kind of look around, right? I'm sure there's a lot of trees. That kind of makes it a little tricky, right?
And the weather and the humidity.
And the weather.
So you're saying Devin's to blame for any time you can't stare up into the skies.
He's going to have a great forecast for this weekend, I'm sure.
I know, right? Well, I mean, we've had to deal with the clouds, but I mean, the temperatures are going to be better.
That's something.
That's something.
But so the Northwoods Explorers, this group, what do they do? What do you do?
Well, we set up telescopes, organize star parties, we hold talks about space and the space race that's going on right now. Everybody's trying to get up to space. China's on the far side of the moon, discovering amazing things. We're trying to get to the moon. So it's a big challenge, and there's a lot of science involved, a lot of people involved with it, with Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk with their programs and stuff. NASA is trying to do it too. But it's just a lot of fun. When people get underneath the stars together to look at the night sky, it's just a beautiful event. Everybody forgets about their troubles or political affiliations, and you just sit there and enjoy the universe that's above you.
Yeah.
I mean, you get to soak it in. I mean, you look at these stars out there, and some of them are a little bit faint. You're talking billions of light years away. I mean, it's kind of crazy to just soak it all in.
Well, it's amazing when you look through a telescope and you see an object that's thousands of light years away, you realize that the light's just now coming to you. So you don't know what's happened. That object could have moved or not there anymore.
So you can think of like a time delay, you know, like at a stadium, right? You know, with the sound delays, and we're kind of experiencing that in the form of light in outer space, right? Is that
a much larger effect. You know, telescopes are time machines. We have the ability to look back and see the entire process of how the universe unfolded. So we have great examples of what's going to happen to our sun in 4 billion years. It's going to consume Mercury and Venus and eventually the Earth, but we're not going to worry about it because I don't think we'll be here then.
Well,
that's good news, right?
That's good to hear. So how is your organization kind of reaching out to like the local communities in the Northwoods? I know you kind of do like teaching classes as well, and you host kind of events like that as too.
Right. Well, we pretty much just work with the Minocqua Winter Park, the North Lakeland Discovery Center, and now over at the YMCA. We've done a couple of events out there, and we're trying to reach out to other groups. We've done the Wisconsin's science teachers at the Lowenwood, which is a great facility up here in northern Wisconsin. We're going to be at the North Lakeland Community Education Facility on November 11th, teaching our first class about stargazing, and then we'll follow it up with another winter program and another program in the spring to teach people about the universe.
Well, that's fantastic. So who can all attend these events?
It's open to the general public. I mean, I've seen some people hold up their child, 3 years old, to look through the eyepiece of a telescope. Unfortunately, when you get 90 and 100, then your eyes start to fail. And so we are preparing video systems too, so you don't have to look through the eyepiece, so that the telescope will be broadcast onto the video. And it's also great for people that are in wheelchairs or hearing impaired. So there's a lot of different ways we're trying to increase the access to everyone.
It sounds like this is a perfect event, though, for those that are young. I mean, that can pique an interest and maybe start a career interest very early, though. I know my weather interest started when I was younger, and even for the very old, I'd still want to see it. Eyes may not work, and it sounds perfect.
Well, astronomy is hardly even taught in schools, and so what we provide is an ability for kids to keep curious in science. There's so many fields, all the way from art and media, but also chemistry, biology, fields you wouldn't think of that are related to astronomy, because we're trying to find out if there's life on other planets or other exoplanets that are way out there. And so there's lots of opportunities, but not to mention the physics and the math and the
there's a lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
So people interested, I think there's an event happening Saturday.
Yes, at the YMCA at the Northwoods. Starts at 7 p.m. We'll start a little talk, and then if the weather's clear, we'll look at Jupiter, which is at opposition right now. So it's really bright. We'll see maybe 3 or 4 of its moons, and the Saturn and its rings, and then we'll try to look for some more deep sky objects after that.
Well, fantastic. Anyone interested should definitely tune into that.
Yeah, just give us a good weather forecast.
It should be good that night. We're in a clearing pattern there, so let's hope it stays that way.
Thanks for joining us, Jim. Coming up, we have What's Trending.